Attitude of Intellectuals Regarding Spiritual Gifts. BD number 5754. August 25, 1953. There will always be people who are difficult for me and my teaching to win over because they use their intellect too much but only seldom let their heart speak, which recognizes me sooner than the intellect. For the latter is used by my adversary to make himself heard, whereas the heart will hear me. I can certainly also be intellectually recognized but only after the heart has recognized me. The intellectual knows little about the gifts of the Spirit, of abilities which a person can develop within himself but which have no organic foundation. The intellectual's path is different from that of a spiritually enlightened person, and since both take different paths their goals also differ. The goal of one is full of light whilst the other's goal is bleak and sinister. People who look for the truth by intellectual means establish their own limitations, because their intellect is limited, whereas the Spirit can rise above all limitations since it has access to every region. And thus no person will ever be able to call himself knowledgeable if he purely searches rationally without having previously awakened the Spirit. And the fact that he will not acknowledge information acquired through the working of the Spirit testifies to the inadequacy of his intellectual knowledge. Nevertheless, I suffer him and his spiritual weakness because he can only be taught when he realizes that the final knowledge remains inaccessible to him, when he realizes how little he can achieve with his intellectual knowledge which, in the final analysis, leaves him dissatisfied and which no amount of deliberation can increase. For the knowledge has to be imparted to him, not by people but by God. He has to appeal to me for it, only then will he increase in knowledge, in light. Only then will he accept wisdom, not just earthly knowledge which is inadequate. He must become empty so that he can be filled, he must let go of earthly knowledge so that he can receive spiritual wisdom, he must search for the light so that he can find it, only then will my teaching testify to its origin, only then will he strive for my kingdom and only then will my Spirit be able to work in him and convey knowledge to him which is accepted by the heart and intellect because it originates from me. Amen.